turn down donations,
No,
but
no.
you know it works.
Yep. Well, that's why I said to him, I said, let me do some checking, and Deb said, "Oh, I'll email."
Huge, huh?
Huh?
Pretty huge, huh?
Come
You need some people to help you, like direct traffic, or do you think you're gonna have it?
No, the DPW is stepping in to help
How come we
when they
can't?
get to the end of it. So they're handling all the traffic issues. We're gonna meet and go over it.
How about the offloading part?
That's what I meant, the offloading. And lining up, I've got 3-4 people, that's
Oh,
all
you're
you
good.
need.
Oh, that's good. Any more than that, you just
What
need.
am I
Right,
doing wrong?
right.
One moment, just a minute.
That'd be
You
like
know,
an hour.
last year,
Get
we
How do I get out of here?
quite a bit. And this year, we got the
Golf
golf
carts, right?
carts, so that's gonna help walkie-talkies.
Yeah, the golf carts.
How the hell's that happen?
We're using them too, that's good.
Yeah,
Golf carts all over the place. I talked about it, how long can we drive these things before they run out of fuel?
Dropbox?
This is a couple days.
Why is this doing this?
This is the old meeting.
Oh, I had this problem before. I don't know how you...
I haven't talked to him about how we're gonna get them there,
Karen,
so.
Do you know how to...
how do we get to the, I got the old meeting on here.
Well, I have a.
Can't get the,
How does he get to the,
Al Stern's
today's
trail.
meeting?
We could get a couple on there at a whack, so.
I mean, yeah,
Dropbox.
Yeah.
Dropbox.
Let me know, I'm sure I can.
Dropbox.
probably help out in
Yeah.
that regard.
May
It's stuck on
22nd.
there.
A lot of things have to be moved.
Oh, push that. There's something missing there.
Stage. My wife was showing me the stage, that looks nice. That's the young guy to
I
help
tell
you.
you,
Oh, so much for technology. I use my,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Alan,
got the
I
whole
don't know,
Okay.
you
thing.
guys,
Yeah.
he's
Okay, we're all,
I was telling him I had to change my...
everyone.
He
that-
can't get off this page.
I'm stuck on that page
We
for
can
some
ask
reason.
Justin if you
Oh,
want.
how'd you do that, John? You made it
Maybe
happen?
a co-chair, but you're the chair.
Yeah.
You guys will be glad when it's done. It's, yeah.
Losing my last couple of years.
Technology.
Were you able to access it
Dropbox?
from the email?
No, I do
See,
it
I
from
don't
the
have it, but I
Dropbox.
don't have
Your
it.
wife will be glad, she'll be able to see you again.
Oh, she's so.
I'd have to go to email.
Like today, I got home.
Right.
So if you want to access it,
6:40, I ran up to
Email.
the change because I had jeans and a shirt. I got into some stuff today. I'm all dirty. I almost came in there like that. Like, I can't do it.
Identify survey. I'll have to have Justin look at it.
No, I had golf yesterday,
don't
meeting
know.
today, meeting tomorrow night.
All right. We all set.
Friday night week.
Okay.
Yeah, they feel just not happening for me.
Being the hour of 7:01, we'll open the Selectmen's Meeting of June 4th. We have a very short agenda this evening. First item on the agenda is Greg Anderson. Mr. Anderson, could you come forward?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for returning my call and letting me come forward just to congratulate the two winners, Mr. Berthium. But it was a good contest, and, you know, I enjoyed the conversations when we met on the campaign trail. So I think your heart and your mind are in the right place for Oxford. Congratulations to you and to you, Mr. Mahota. I wish I bumped into you too, because I would have loved to had a chat with you. The other reasons I'm here is just to let you know, I hit 5 neighborhoods and just concerns of those neighborhoods of certain things that you might be able to take care of. I gave them some of the answers I believe are correct, but if I was wrong, yeah. One was Howard's Road up by Reggie's. They would like a stoplight because when IPG starts unloading, what happens in that neighborhood is they all scoot down Bacon Street to Marshall Street. And it's right around 3 o'clock, 3:30, the kids are out playing and they're worried, you know, and they do book right around there. And they're afraid their kids are, you know, so they have to keep them in the yards or, you know, pay extra attention to them. I told them that that was the state highway, that the town has no control whether they put a traffic light there or not. The best you could do, speaking the town, would be to have a traffic assessment or a car count and the state would decide whether we need a light there. I don't know if there's any extra pressure as the board you could put on them for that.
Well, we've all, I think all have gotten complaints in that regard, and basically you gave the correct answer. Just to give you an example, Cudworth Road, that's also intersects with the state highway. It took us approximately 15 years before we got the state to put a light there. And we used every bit of political pressure that we could apply to our legislators, the governor's office, and it all boils down to dollars and cents in big government, taking care of bigger projects in their minds.
Yes.
Okay? But this was a big project in our minds. We live it day to day. And, you know, I concur. I think that they ought to do something with that. I think we all can agree with that.
I know, I believe we tried even when I was on the board in the past. That's how I knew the answer on that one. Locust Street, when I hit that neighborhood, the school zone, there's 2 playgrounds sponsored by the town. I don't know if one's the school department's, but the one in the front yard, you know, for the neighborhood kids. And they speed along there, and there was like 4 people on Locust Street that complained about that. And you know, in the past, as I remember, we'd always have the police department go down and do a radar survey and give tickets out. But I would say 95% of the time, we're giving tickets out to the people that lived on Locust Street, or whatever street we were worried about at the time. It was all the neighborhood people. You know, so I told them that, and they said, well, they didn't care if they got a ticket, just slow it down. I said, okay. I'd bring it in front of the board. They said, you'd still bring that if you lost? And I said, well, yeah, you know, I don't mind being an advocate for the taxpayer at all. The next one was up in the Burbank Street area. To the town manager, they'd like and I'm not gonna say the address, but they'd like the tax assessor to go up there and reassess his house, because I believe you'll probably recognize the problem. His foundation cracked, he had to remove a couple rooms. I mean, the empty foundation's there, I saw it, and it was deemed unsafe, so he had to jack his house up a little, put a new foundation in. But he's still being taxed at the old rate, and he'd like the tax assessor to go up there and reevaluate his house personally. I said, well, that's the last guy I'd want over my house. But
Well, sometimes in a case like that, if it is wrong, you would want him there.
oh, yes.
All right, so it's somebody on Burbank Street.
Yeah, and I'll get together with you after and tell you the correct address.
Would you say crack foundation? I think I know who it is.
Yeah, I figured you would. Then there were a couple employee complaints. I'm not gonna bring those up, okay? Because first of all, the employee's not here to defend him or herself, and it's not the proper venue. But I believe one's under your control, Mr. Manager, and one would be an appointment of the board. So I'll bring that up to you, John, and you can investigate and get back to the people. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say on that until after, and then I'll let you know what's going on with that. Where the old Greg Anderson would have just belted it out. As the flyer you received, I was passing out door to door. It's the one thing on there that, well, should have been on there was the town TV thing, and I know you've been working on that. But one thing that was brought up to me was, well, if WAAF can put a link on their webpage and you can watch almost any length video you want, why can't the town? I had no answer for that, because and I'm not a computer savvy guy, but it would be very easy, I would say, to put a link on either the town's Facebook page or the town's webpage as prior meetings, not just the selectmen's meeting, like the planning board, you know, Oxford Beautification Committee, if they sit here and they broadcast their thing, because a lot of people don't have charter. And charter has the sole thing on that. You know, I have DirecTV. I had no, you know, didn't have any knowledge of what was going on at any meeting. Because I, you know, how long I looked on my channels just to find Access Oxford, and it's not there. It's only on charter. So,
That is something, Greg, that is being looked at. Matter of fact, when we met with Access Oxford this past winter, that was one of the issues that was brought up. Matter of fact, I had brought it up because there were a number of people that do not have charter. They have the dish,
yeah.
DirecTV, and the consultant that was representing the town said that it could be done. And Access Oxford, I believe, is aware of it, and it's an item that eventually you will see. It's just going to be a matter of time. And that's the responsibility of Access Oxford, really, at this point.
But at least now you've been working on it, you know. Then my main thing for running one of them was the police department. I'm a scanner listener. You know, every once in a while you'll have, my computer's not logging on, you know, the laptop or the cruiser, so he has no RMV, he has no, you know, and I want to say that the most dangerous stop is just a regular, you think you're going to give the guy a ticket or a warning, and he pulls out something and he shoots you. Whereas if their computer was online, they'd know what they're facing. You know, at least if there's warning signs from prior behavior. The weapons they have, I mean, I want to say, I know a lot of people, and I'm probably coming close to outgunning the Oxford Police Department. I want, you know, when I worked there, the most dangerous thing we had was the hermit up past the Shore's house. You know, and every once in a while he'd walk down the center and start shooting his .22, trying to shoot at people. You know, but that's, well, not at people that he thought were people. You know, he had dementia, and we took care of that, but that would be the most, you know, one of the most dangerous things. But now, with the weapons that are out there, and I believe they probably still have the same shotguns they had when I worked there. You know, we need to upgrade their weapons through grants. You know, it was a grants man. I was going to ask the town manager to try to look into, maybe there's a grant to hire a grants man. Because if I believe this, Dennis Powers started off as a grants man or filing for grants. You know, and he moved up to town manager, and he did a very good job. You know, but as I had my interview with the chief, and I tried to get down to the fire department, but she was going to certain seminars. I just hit it at the wrong week. And, you know, they have to file for their own grants and write them. You know, to me, I would rather see the chief running his department than stuck in front of a computer screen trying to word a grant, you know, so they get the right money. You know, I figure, hey, if the government can give the drug cartels automatic weapons and have them come back and shoot us, then maybe they can give some weapons to Oxford or any town that asks for them. You know, it's just in the wording and how you put it. But, and that's about it. You know, I again congratulate you guys, and I hope you work on those for me, or for, you know, I don't care who takes the credit, just get them. Because I don't want you guys feeling like crap, or I would if, God forbid, something happens. And one of our cops gets down because the guy had an assault rifle and he only had his 9mm. You know, they need more protection. All our first responders do. You know. But that's it, and I want to thank the board very much for having me in, and You know, I'll be here every Tuesday meeting until we get the TV thing fixed, so. But thank you again,
Thank you, Greg.
and I'll see you out there about those two other.
Very good. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
Managers report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Town Manager's Report for June 4th, 2013. We have meeting minutes. Request the board vote to approve meeting minutes of May 8th, 2013. Selectman Casey and Selectman Lamountain were absent. Pleasure of the board.
Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded. Discussion? There being none, call for the vote.
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
You
Abstain,
might want
I'm
to
gonna
abstain.
abstain.
Oh,
because
yeah,
you
they
weren't-
weren't at that meeting. That's right.
You weren't at the meeting, so.
Abstain.
Okay, we have 3 in the affirmative, 2 abstentions, motion carries.
Question regarding yard sales during the 300th anniversary celebration. The town clerk's office is requesting the board consider not allowing yard sales the weekend of the 300th anniversary celebration, which is July 13th and 14th, 2013, in accordance with the Selectmen's Policy 2502, Item 3. The board did not allow yard sales on Sunday, July 8th, 2012, during the kickoff festivities. Pleasure of the board.
I entertain a motion that we do not allow yard sales during the festivities of the 300th anniversary.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Do we have a second?
I have to abstain. I'm on the.
Okay, do we have a second? One of you can second it.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's second for discussion. Yes?
I feel that if they want to have a yard sale, let them have a yard sale. Someone might, if they don't want to go, they don't go. If they want to go, let them go. They might find something they like.
I'm gonna kind of disagree, Alan. You know, if we're preventing the people on Main Street and that thoroughfare, they can't have yard sales that day. I mean, that would interfere with the whole festivity, so we somehow can't allow that, as far, in my opinion. And so if we're gonna shut them down, I think it's only appropriate the whole town, you know, what's good for one is good for the other, and that. So I agree, you know, that somebody out in nowhere's land, they wanna, you know, have their, you know, some other part of the town doesn't affect what's going on, but I also think we should be fair, so.
Well, I agree with that, but I meant have yard sales. I didn't know you weren't going to have yard sales on Main Street. I mean,
Well-
yard sales everywhere. But just on Sunday, because like according to what you said, last year you didn't have it on a Sunday. We do the same thing because Sunday's the parade. The big festival's on Sunday. Why don't we have the yard sales on Saturday if somebody wants them?
Yeah, but even Saturday, I mean, you know, there's so much going on Main Street. I can't see how we could allow people to have yard sales. The traffic is gonna be a nightmare to begin with. You know, if you ever were around with Founder's Day and remember that, you know, it's very difficult for the police and now, you know, to have a yard sale tied into that, I just don't think it's fair to our safety force to allow that. And then, you know, you can always have issues at yard sales. I just think it would behoove us not to, you know, so.
But the street's going to be closed from Jocelyn Park to the town hall, correct? The street's closed there?
Mhm.
To Sutton Avenue, yeah.
Yeah. But that's my opinion.
Any other
So-
comments? I concur with Selectman Lamache. We had the Founder's Day celebration for over 20 years. First year we had the Founder's Day celebration, we had yard sales, and it was, the police have enough to do that weekend. I mean, thousands of people come into the community, not just the community itself, but people from outside of the community. If you remember the Founder's Day events, we'd get upwards of between 30 to 50,000 people just in this stretch of Main Street. The police were very taxed. They had to pay attention to what was happening down here. They couldn't be concerned about yard sales. And we do get a lot of complaints at yard sales. You know, cars double parked on both sides of the street, stopping traffic. We get those kinds of complaints. So this is less taxing on the police department, and I believe that the police department would recommend that they not have to enforce that. It's just one extra duty that they have to do, and we can use their services in the downtown area. Is there any other comments, concerns?
Well, I know when the Labor Day fairs are, Spencer, there's a lot of yard sales all along the thing. You know, same thing in Woodstock. You know, so.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. There might be a problem if the street is still blocked off. You know, people are not gonna be able to drive up that street, you know, on Main Street.
If there's no further discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Yes.
Abstain.
No.
Yes.
Yes. 3 in the affirmative, 1 abstention, 1 no. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item, dog complaint. In your packet of May 24th, there's a report of a copy of a complaint of a vicious dog. Absent resolution of this matter before then, I suggest the board hold a hearing on July 9th, 2013 at 7 p.m. On this matter. Pleasure of the board.
I'll entertain a motion to have the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? There being none, I'll call for the vote.
Yes.
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 Yes, 5 in the affirmative, motion carries.
Carbuncle Beach. Carbuncle Pond is scheduled to open for the summer season on Saturday, June 22nd, 2013. Unless something else comes up, it'll close near the end of August, August 17th, 2013. Tercentennial celebration. Pleased to announce that the town has received notice of an event with Senator Richard Moore to announce that he is able to secure money from the Senate budget for the town to celebrate our tercentennial. Said event, it'll be held at the Selectmen's Meeting Room, that's in this room, Thursday, June 6th at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And there's some more good news. Fire Act grant. Pleased to announce that the town has received notice of a Fire Act grant in the amount of $104,000 to install ventilation system in the 2 fire stations. This is for the vehicle exhaust. The grant presentation is scheduled for Friday, June 7th at 1:30 p.m. at Fire Headquarters. It'll be presented by Congressman Jim McGovern. RSVPs are needed. Please let your clerk know if you plan to attend. And finally, I have a few reminders, lest we forget. There is a special Senate, to fill a Senate seat, special state election to fill a vacant Senate seat. That election is on Tuesday, June 25th. It'll be from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. In order to register to vote, you still have time. The deadline, well, you have a little bit of time. The deadline is tomorrow, June 5th, and the town clerk's office will be open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. You may register to vote, change your name, address, or party affiliation at the office of the town clerk, or by sending a mail-in voter registration form to the office of the town clerk, which is located at 325 Main Street, Oxford, 01540. It has to be postmarked no later than June 5th to be effective. And finally, there's a volunteer recognition brunch on Saturday, June 8th, 2013. Starts at 10 a.m. It'll be held at the Oxford Senior Center, and that finishes my report for June 4th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Now we'll go into Selectmen's request. Mr. LaMarche?
Thank you, Chairman Sad. Selectman Vos and myself were able to attend the Oxford graduation, and as always, it was a very nice evening, I think. I was very, very amazed at the large amount of students that received awards and scholarships. It's to me, it's really a credit in order to receive scholarships like that. It's a credit to the quality of the school personnel that we have that are educating these students. And I'd like to congratulate all the Oxford students and any other Oxford resident that is a part of the class of 2013, whether it be high school or college. I think they deserve kudos and, great job done, and wish you luck in your future. I'd also like to congratulate Ben Murray. I was able to attend his Eagle ceremony on Sunday and present him with the citation from the board. And again, I was amazed by the number of Eagle Scouts. Like I stated to them, I might be dating myself, but in my day, you were lucky if you had one Eagle Scout in town. And now, that one troop, they had 8. They now have 8. And it's just a credit, again, to the quality of the people we have in this town, both the parents, the leaders, the scout leaders, and then the individuals that have earned that rank. That's not an easy rank, so I just want to put a shout out to them, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vos?
Thank you, John. As we talked about a little bit earlier, the tercentennial celebration is going to be the 13th and the 14th, and we got about a month left. We do have some openings for some booths. I mean, the food's pretty much taken, but if you're a craft vendor or you're a nonprofit or a school group or whatnot, this is a fantastic opportunity for you to make some money for your organization. Sure, this is going to be a lot of fun for everyone in town, but it's going to be a better opportunity for people to make some money and have some fun. So, as John knows, I mean, years past when they had the Founders Day, so a lot of these organizations, their fundraising for the whole year was this one celebration. So if you're thinking about it, please get in contact with the committee very quickly. Like I said, most of the food has been taken, but there are other things you can do. And just wanted to thank the American Legion, the DFW, for having the Memorial Day parade. Every year I don't know if most people realize this, they are the ones who organize that parade and put the whole thing together. And I just want to thank them for the invitation, for the opportunity to speak. It was a fantastic parade and a fantastic meal to VFW after. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Mr. Berthew?
Thank you.
You all set?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Mahoda?
Thank you.
All set? I also want to congratulate the veterans organizations for putting on an outstanding Memorial Day event this year. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Department of Public Works. The cemeteries were just impeccable. I don't know how they do it, but they keep those cemeteries really trimmed. And, with all the stones and everything they have to go around, they have the flat stones and they have the raised stones, and it just looked perfect. And it's quite a tribute to our veterans when you have a resting place that looks like what we have here in Oxford. So kudos to the Department of Public Works. Also, I'd like to get the board's opinion, and I really don't want to put a motion on the floor now, but I am considering putting a motion on the floor to the board regarding moving Precinct 3 out of this building and into the middle school along with Precinct 2. It's just too congested in this building. We have people working in this building. We have only one elevator. Parking is atrocious out here. I've had people complaining year after year about the voting here. Precinct 1 and 4 vote at the Chafee School, and it's done without any hitch. You can get 2 precincts in a school. There's no reason why we can't move this one in with the one in North Oxford. I just want you to think about it, maybe ask around, get some feelings from people, and I will be bringing this up before the end of the summer for your consideration. Some towns that are a lot larger than Oxford vote in one building. Town of Webster votes in their town hall, and they have limited parking there. Town of Auburn votes in one building, is that correct? One building. And Auburn is a town of 17,000 people. So it just, to me, makes more sense to be able to do that. This is a working building. We have offices up here. And to have the voting in this room is just, to me, it just isn't conducive to having a precinct located in this building. So think about it, and we'll bring it back up again. That's all I have. Does anyone have anything?
I'm all set, thank you.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Call for the vote.
Yes.
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 Yes, 5 in the affirmative.